Hey there, Ryan Reynolds here. It's a new year, and you know what that means. No, not the diet. Resolutions. A way for us all to try and do a little bit better than we did last year. And my resolution, unlike big wireless, is to not be a raging and raise the price of wireless on you every chance I get. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited. See mintmobile.com for details.
In the time it takes us to say we're making a damn delicious caramel iced coffee with Folgers Instant Coffee, you know we're all about that drizzle. You could be savoring every sip. Damn right. It's Folgers Instant.
How old was your husband?
When he passed away, he was about 52.
Oh, honey. He looks 22. I'm so sorry. Oh, well, that's kind of because this is a picture from when he was 22. Oh, all right.
This is the plaintiff, Anna Nowak. She says the defendant stole her late husband's Wave Runner out of a storage unit and claims her husband gave it to him before he passed away. She knows for a fact he wanted their children to have the Wave Runner. She told that to the defendant, who has ignored her, and today is Judgment Day. That's right, she's suing the guy for the $2,240 she's owed because what he did was wrong, and he knows it. This is the defendant, Steve McNamara. He says he used to work for the plaintiff's husband, and he offered the Wave Runner as partial payment for a landscaping job he did for him. He got a bill of sale and the registration, and now 4 years later, the lady is suing him for it? Please. This whole thing's crazy. He's in the right, and he can prove it. He's accused of stealing from a family.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Anna Nowak?
Yes.
You are suing Stephen McNamara?
Yes.
For $2,240, the depreciated value of a 1997 Yamaha Wave Runner? Okay,
Yes.
What happened?
My husband was the owner of a business in Newtown, Connecticut. He passed away. He died of cancer in 2012.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. We had
What
been
month of 2012?
in June.
Okay.
We had been storing a 1997 Yamaha Wave Runner and trailer at his warehouse in Newtown, Connecticut. There was more room, ample room there. We didn't have the room to store it at our home, at our residence. We had repeated conversations that the Wave Runner was for my children's enjoyment. It was our property. In 2015,
Had you owned it since 1997, or you'd bought it used?
I believe my husband bought it. You know what? I can't answer that
Was
question.
it registered under his name or under your name or under
His
your
name.
children's name?
His name.
His name, okay.
Yes. In 2015, I went to go see the Wave Runner in Newtown, and I noticed that it was gone.
This is 3 years after your husband passed away?
Correct.
Okay.
And I questioned Mr. McNamara if he knew about the whereabouts of the Wave Runner.
Why,
and,
Mr. McNamara? What does he have to do with any of this?
I just had that feeling.
No, but was he an employee of your husband's?
Yes.
Was he a friend of your husband's?
Yes, he was an employee of my husband's. I introduced him to my husband. We went to high school together. I got him the job.
Who went to high school together? You two?
We did.
Okay.
I introduced him to my husband before my husband got ill. He hired him at his company.
How long had he been with the company before your husband passed away? Do you know?
I'm not exactly sure what year he was hired.
All right. What year were you hired?
June of 2010, Your Honor.
2010. So, and your husband passed away in
2012.
All right. And was your husband sick in 2010 or no?
It was the beginning of his cancer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And did the business continue after your husband passed?
Yes,
Who continued to run it?
My brother-in-law.
Okay, so go on.
In 2015, I had confronted Steve McNamara about the wave runner. He said that my husband said that he could have it. And my husband and I had repeated conversations that that wave runner was for my children. I never had conversations regarding Mr. McNamara getting and having any rights to our property, to the wave runner. After that, I had sent certified letters to Mr. McNamara requesting that we would like our wave runner back. I believe you have copies.
All that started in what year?
March 2015.
May I see those letters?
Yes.
Who is the gentleman with you?
That's my attorney, Terry Gallagher.
Oh, sitting quietly in the corner, as attorneys must in these proceedings. Okay, so on March 4th, you send him a letter saying, I expect you to return my personal property that you took from the premises, specifically my 1997 Yamaha jet ski and gray 2006 trailer. These items belong to me. I expect you to return the jet ski and trailer within 30 days, and if you fail to do so, I will file a stolen property report. He writes back, the jet ski and trailer were given to me for payment of services and supplies for work that I did for Ken, and then he gives an address he did the work at. What is that?
That's where we live. That's my residence.
Okay, this payment agreement was decided by Ken in May of 2012 because for some reason he didn't want the kids to have it. I have 3 people that witnessed this agreement. Who are the 3 people? Are they here?
No, they are not. They're
Who are the 3
co-workers.
people?
They were co-workers at
Did you ever tell her who the 3 people were? She'd know the
No.
co-workers. Why not? Who are they? Tell me now.
One was Steve Melcher. The other one was Gene Cease and Sean Kaplan.
Okay, now Steve Melcher
Yeah.
is someone who you subsequently sold this to, right?
He approached me about purchasing it in 2015.
Okay. I am sorry that Ken never told you of these dealings, but it was his choice to offer the jet ski for payment. I was given a bill of sale and titles for both the jet ski and the trailer. This was done in accordance with the law. You wrote a note here on his letter to you that says he never showed me the bills. Have you ever seen it up to this date?
No, Your
Now,
Honor.
you ended up calling the police, correct?
Yes, I have a police report.
Right. They confirmed that, in fact, it was legally registered to McNamara until December of 2014. What happened in December of 2014?
That's when I sold it to Steve Melcher.
Okay. And then
In the
did he
spring of
register it
15.
in his name?
Yes, in Connecticut.
Okay. You had registered it in your name where?
In New Hampshire, because I
Why?
had a house up in New Hampshire at the time.
Okay. And according to them, that can only be done with a bill of sale. And in fact, a check of the New Hampshire website showed a bill of sale. That's what the police report says, though. So I have to imagine the police spoke with you. They didn't investigate the case you asked them to investigate and then never call you. Did they not tell you this? You're looking at the police report, so I know you've seen it.
They informed me that it was now a civil matter and that he didn't have evidence to indicate the vessel was stolen.
Well, not only that, he has evidence to indicate the vessel wasn't stolen. That's why they're not filing a criminal case. I mean, all right, so do you have a bill of sale from her husband? Is that something that you printed off the website?
No, I went to New Hampshire and I got a copy of it, and I also have a copy of the verified registration that I had it registered, stamped.
What kind of work did you do around that house that this was?
Landscaping and excavation work. They were building a pool down in their backyard and re-landscaping their front yard, irrigation systems, and like that.
So
And
why did he sell it to you, or he gave it to you in lieu of a payment?
I gave him $500. That's what he wanted at the time, and cash. And it took
For
$2,000
the wave runner?
for the wave runner, and $2,000 I took off the outstanding bill.
Okay. So do you have any proof that you gave him the $500?
It's cash. That's how we worked.
Are you saying that because the thing
no.
says sale price $500?
No, he
Which
dealt
goes
with
to bring
me.
the taxes down if it wasn't $2,000? Is that
Yeah.
why you're saying that? Selling price
No.
$500?
Nope.
Stephen H. Okay, so this purports to be the seller's signature on the bottom, Mr. Noack's, right?
Correct.
Let me show it to you. Take a look at that. I would imagine, how many years were you married to him?
17.
Okay. Does that look like his signature?
No, it does not.
Do you have anything with his signature to prove that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What is that?
This is a signature that was on our will.
Is it an original or is it a photocopy?
That's a copy.
I don't take copies, especially not on a signature, because people can just put something on top of something and then I don't get a chance to actually
This
see
is
what
an
it is.
original. I do have an original.
You have an original? Good.
Right there.
Okay, thank you.
This is who? Your husband?
Yes.
How old was your husband?
When he died, when he passed away, he was about 52.
Oh, honey. He looks 22.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Oh, well, that's kind of because this is a picture from when he was 22. Oh, all right.
But it's a real signature.
I got it. I say, why, he looks like a baby. Well, of course, he was a baby then. All right, I got it. How would he get the title to it?
The title?
Yeah.
Mr. McNamara had an office, and he had access to folders, files. The wave runner was taken, and all the important papers were in it. So he basically beat me to it.
Do you have anything in your husband's handwriting?
I have this.
You made a comment earlier that I suspected it would be him. Why did you suspect anything?
Mr. McNamara had done work on our property, like he had mentioned before, and there were so many things that I had to take care of after my husband died. There were medical bills beyond, and there were just repeated invoices coming from Steve McNamara for the work that he had done. There was no break, and pay me, you owe me, past due. So I had to really just kind of get my bearings.
Right, but are you suggesting that when you say no break?
He wanted his money, and I feel that he didn't get paid soon enough. I feel that he decided that he was going to take the wave runner as collateral.
Right, but do you have proof of anything that you're saying? You know
Proof of anything?
Yeah, of the things that you're saying. You're saying, I believe that this is what happened. He stole it because he wanted to get paid. He didn't get paid fast enough. I'm not sure what you're saying. Did you owe him money for work? Did you end up paying him that money?
Yes, Your
Okay,
Honor.
so, and how soon or how late did you pay him that money?
He was paid probably in full. He was paid in full probably about a year and a half after my husband died.
Okay, I'm not sure that someone billing you during the course of a year and a half is pay me, and your husband just died. A year and a half is very late to be paying somebody for work they did. You know, and I realized, and you know, that you had to sort things out and figure things out, and but every time your husband signs, he signs differently. Like, you're telling me, well, this signature is very different, Judge, from the one on the will. It's not very different. It has some differences, but then the one on the check has differences from the one on the will too. He's a scribbler, like two of my children.
He had a certain way of signing his Ks.
He does, but the one on the will is very different from the one here, and it's also different from the one here. If you look at them, I assume that before you walked in here, you looked at them and you know this. Yeah. Because you hadn't even seen this, and you were saying, that's not his signature. I'm not having that kind of ease that you're having. I mean, I handed it to you, you said, that's not his signature before you. If you've never seen this, I would imagine you want to inspect it to see if that was his signature.
I knew right away it wasn't his signature.
Yeah. Did you bring any of the witnesses here who you say, I have 3 witnesses? Why would you take the opportunity to have them at least give you statements when you walked into court today?
I came here knowing that I had a signed bill of sale. It was a legal transaction.
Now, Melcher bought it from you?
Correct.
What did he pay for it?
He paid $1,500.
And Melcher has it now?
To my knowledge, yes. But that was, let's see, 15? Now you're talking
2015.
3 years ago.
Did Melcher ever talk to the police?
Yes, he talked to the Newtown police when they came to
All right, so
our
the
office.
Newtown police gets this in 2015. Did you know, how do I pronounce his name? Melcher?
Melcher.
Did you know him?
I did not, but I
Okay.
did speak to him.
And so he was an employee also?
Correct.
And you say you spoke to him. When did you speak to him?
I spoke to him
When you
last
got the
year.
police report?
I spoke to him last year to follow up with this. I wasn't going to let it go. And he said that he had no idea that any of this was going on. And I said, do you know that, it's stolen property? And he's like, I had no idea. And he goes, well, if you want it back.
How are you going to disprove this, what he's saying? How disprove it for me? Give me something to hang my hat on. How are you going to do it?
And welcome back to the People's Court. Question, I don't understand this. If the guy registers title and then writes up a bill of sale, that's not something a thief would do, is it?
It's just a way to clear title and put the thing under his name. It makes a lot of sense.
Except then he's putting his name out there. If he's a thief, why would a thief do that?
Because he's trying to hide something.
But if he's trying to hide something, why is he putting his name on it?
Yeah, I don't think he's completely honest. I think it's illegal. He's putting his name on it and trying to sell it.
Really? Okay, I guess I'm a minority of one here going inside the courtroom.
You have to prove to me that it is more likely than not stolen. He's got a bill of sale. We've got a signature that goes a lot of different ways, a lot of different times. He's got the title. I mean, you can suspect everything you want.
Okay.
And then I've got Melcher telling the police, hold on one second. Nowak stated she did not know who Melcher was. So then the police, I mean, they thoroughly they did everything they needed to do. I traveled to environmental and spoke with two males identified as Stephen McNamara and Stephen Melcher. McNamara stated, as Kenneth Nowak was getting more oil from Kent, so he told McNamara he could have the 1997 Yamaha jet ski in question for payment as services. Kenneth owed McNamara, who was his employee. So you're still working there 3 years after this. The
Correct.
brother-in-law didn't fire you.
No.
Okay. McNamara, did you stay working after that? Also, when are you still working there now?
No.
Okay, when did you stop?
2016.
16.
Yes.
So he didn't fire you when she complained to the police about the wave runner thing?
No.
McNamara stated that Yamaha and trailer were signed over to him prior to Kenneth's death a few years ago and were legally registered with a bill of sale in his name at his residence in New Hampshire. That he wasn't getting enough use out of it, so he signed it over to Melcher a few months ago. And that the DMV had his documentation. The officer then contacted the DMV in New Hampshire, and they corroborated all of this. Yeah.
May I speak?
You can.
Okay. I was married 17 years. My husband never had that conversation with me that that wave runner was to be his property. It was for my children. They had memories before he died. They had fun with their father, and that was the intention of that wave runner.
How long had it been that that wave runner wasn't used? Because you didn't even notice it missing for 3 years.
2012, he passed away. 2015, I tried to get it back.
Right. How long before 2012 had it been since the wave runner had been used?
We were on that wave runner before my husband died.
How long
The summer.
before?
It was probably...
Your husband died in June of that summer. So
yes.
how long before that? The prior summer?
No, that summer.
He was on a wave runner, sick?
Yes, he was. Yep, he was.
I'm very sorry over what happened to you. But you having the burden of proof coming in here, there being a bill of sale, there being a, I expect a thief to just take it and shut up. I don't expect a thief to register it, put a bill of sale with a signature out there, and then sell it to someone else and have all that paperwork. And that's not what a thief does. What a thief does is take it and say, I don't know what you're talking about. That's what a thief does. And none of that happened here. And you're the one with the burden of proof coming in, and you just haven't proven it to me. So my hands are tied on this. My verdict in this case is for him. I know you're saying you won't let it go. You've attached this great significance to the wave runner. You're a parent. You love your children. You want a safer wave runner. Treat yourself. Get yourself a new wave runner. Make new memories on a wave runner that has safety mechanisms on it, not a 1997. Right? Do that. Do that. That's a much better tribute to the memories that your kids have with your husband on that. Okay? Good luck to you. My verdict's for the defendant.
So the judge says Ms. Nowak did not have the evidence to prove her case. What are you thinking right now? I think everybody feels really sorry for you. But
I have a lot of mixed feelings right now because I know the truth. But I think what was good was to be able to expose Mr. McNamara, and a lot of people know that I was coming here today, and they were all, hoping that it would work out in my favor. But again,
you say to expose him. He had evidence that the judge could look at.
You know what? I am grateful that I had the opportunity to do this.
Did your lawyer? You brought a lawyer to court with you. Did he give you any idea that this might happen?
We were realistic. Yeah, we were realistic. You know, there's always someone that wins and always someone that
Let me
doesn't.
ask you, you don't want to talk? All right, the lawyer doesn't want to talk. I mean, it would seem to me he might know. Okay. I'm so sorry for you.
That's okay. That's all right.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right, sir.
Nice to meet you.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. McNamara.
How you doing?
She said you were exposed. I didn't get that.
I don't get that either.
Yeah.
I don't get that either. It was a legal transaction. I did work with her husband. Her husband was a great guy and everything, and it's a sad passing. But, you know, what was right is right. It's legal, and it was done legal, and I'm not hiding from it.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You're
Thank
very,
you.
very welcome. Hope this is over. That's a pretty fascinating case, Harvey. What do you think?
Well, Doug, I got to say, this is a really sad case. And notice that the judgment came with a dose of humanity because the plaintiff here clearly is really suffering, and she lost. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Support your immune system with Airborne's most complete immune support formula yet. Airborne's delicious effervescent tablets are packed with 7 powerful ingredients to fill the holes your immune system may have, so that you can enjoy those unmissable moments in your life. Learn more at airbornecomplete.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is the plaintiff, Kurt Kohler. He says he and the defendant are both board members at their condominium complex, and the hothead physically assaulted him in a rage and pushed him to the ground. He then grabbed him and injured his knee in the fracas. He had to have arthroscopic surgery. He had out-of-pocket expenses, and the defendant needs to pay him for all the pain and stress he's caused. He's suing the louse for every penny of the $5,000 he's owed and hopes the judge will give it to him, but good today for what he did. This is the defendant, William Arian. He says he and the plaintiff were having a discussion about a condo issue, and he called the plaintiff a name for your rear end, which he didn't like. The plaintiff turned around in a huff, and as he was walking off, he tripped and fell. He then started rolling around on the ground, saying he was going to call the cops because he hit him. He never touched this guy, but did offer to help him to get up because he saw he was in distress. Bottom line, this guy had knee issues before all of this. He would never resort to pushing a man down or attacking anyone, and owes this over-exaggerator zip. He's accused of getting into it with a neighbor.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. These litigants live in the same condo complex. Plaintiff says the defendant physically attacked him and hurt him bad. But the defendant says the plaintiff called him a name, turned around, and fell, and that's how he got hurt. It's the case of condomania.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Kurt Kohler, you are suing William Arian for $5,000 in damages that you say he caused when he assaulted you. Tell me what happened.
Okay, on February 8th, we...
Is that of this year?
Of this year, correct.
How do you two know each other?
We are board members. We're condominium boards for Blue Lake Condos.
Condo board members. Okay,
Correct.
and you've been on the board for how long?
I've been on the board for maybe 15 years plus.
Okay,
He's
and-
brand new to the board.
And what's your role in the board?
My role at the time was as director.
What is it now?
I'm not on the board now.
Okay, and
We
what
both-
is your role on the board?
At that time, I was the recording secretary.
Are you on the board now?
No.
Okay. I imagine this incident had a little something to do with both of you getting off the board, or no?
No.
No?
Nope.
We had an actual election.
Oh, and you lost the election? Well, then maybe it did. All right. So what happened?
On February 8th, let's back it up one day. February 7th, at Pompano Beach Historical Society, I saw a fire chief, and I asked him, not the fire chief for our district, a fire chief, and I was telling him about our situation that the board wants to do.
What had the board wanted to do?
They wanted to put locks on storage room doors.
Storage room doors at the condo that are where?
That are on each floor. We have storage room doors for the condominiums. We have 5 condos on each floor. Some buildings have 7.
So they're joint storage rooms?
They're
like
joint.
each floor has, it's not that each tenant has one, each floor has one communal?
Each condo has a storage area.
All right, so go ahead.
So I talked to
What had the board wanted to do?
They want to put locks on doors.
On the outside door or in the cage doors?
On outside door.
Okay, and there had been a vote about that.
There was a discussion on the board.
Was there a vote or was there a discussion?
There was a vote.
There was a vote.
There was a vote. And which way did you vote?
I voted no for it.
And you voted yes?
Yes.
And you voted yes because?
We had problems with homeless people sleeping in the storerooms.
Okay.
And I had called the police a few days prior to that to chase homeless people away off of the property. And the first thing the police said is, why don't you have locks on these doors?
Okay. And so why didn't you want locks?
Because it's inconvenience for if there's a fire in the storage rooms. Some people store during hurricanes like gasoline. If there's a fire in the storage
But
rooms,
you could say that about every apartment too. Every apartment has a lock.
That's true too. But
so you went to some function and you spoke to a friend of yours who's a fire chief?
No, not a friend, a fire chief for
How did you know that person?
Because he was there at the meeting.
Okay, so you talked to that fire chief, and then what happens between the two of you?
So I came back on the 8th. I came into the complex. I saw Mike sitting on a golf cart. And I went up to him.
Were you on a golf cart or were you walking?
No, I was in a car.
Okay.
I drove into the complex, saw Mike at the buildings, which I can show you.
So when you talk to him, are you sitting in your car or do you get out of your car?
No, I got on my car.
Okay, so you're walking past where he is.
I was on the grass.
On the grass.
I walked into the grass. He was on a golf cart, parking this way, facing out this way.
Okay.
And out, and so he was on. I walked in around this sign here. There's a sign, a tollway sign.
Okay.
And I told him, Mike, I talked to a fire chief, and before I could say anything else, he was getting off the golf cart, and he approached me, and he put his hands on my left side, and I fell.
How did he put his hands on your left side?
When I was,
hold on. I'm gonna send my bailiff over there. My bailiff is gonna be you. And you're gonna be him, and you're gonna do to my bailiff what you say he did to you.
Sure. You're walking out that way. He turns, and he went like this.
Like what?
On my shoulder. He put his hands on me.
Right.
Both of his hands and pushed me, and I fell.
Push you so that you could fall on the ground on purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
He pushed me, and I fell on my right side, and I fell, but he came over to assist me to come back up.
But if he pushed you, why? If he pushed you, why would he help you back up?
Because he was being a gentleman, trying to get me back.
He was a gentleman. If he pushed you, he wasn't much of a gentleman.
No, I agree with you. But he pushed me, and I said, Mike, stand back. I'm going to call 911 because I was hurt at the time. I could feel a pain in my knee. I did try, because I was by my car, to stand up, and I heard a click, and I went back down.
Were you on the grass when this happened, or on the concrete?
On the parking lot.
Have a seat.
Yeah.
In the parking lot.
Okay.
Car.
Who is the person with you there?
My sister, Kate.
Okay. All right, so go on.
You're good.
So I called 911, and at the time there was another maintenance guy. His name's Tommy. He was coming over to help me. I said, no, stand back. I have 911 on the phone. And the police are on their way, and paramedics will be coming to assist me.
Okay.
And they both walked away.
Okay. So did the paramedics come?
Yes, they did.
Do you have a report from the paramedics?
Yes, I do.
May I see it? What do you say happened?
Basically, I was sitting on the golf cart about 8 to 10 feet from the edge of the grass where it meets the asphalt. He drove up in his car, came rushing over and said, we have a problem.
He looks to have great difficulty walking now. Is this because of the knee thing? Was he having difficulty walking then, I'm asking?
He has always had problems walking. At one point...
when you said he came rushing over, that doesn't...
He came rushing. He was actually almost as close to walking quickly as he can do.
Okay.
So we have a problem. I called the fire marshal. He says we can't put locks on the doors. I said, your expletive deleted. and a liar. There's no way the fire marshal told you we can't put locks on the door. They don't care. If they have to get in there, they break through the door,
Right.
just like they would
In an apartment.
in an apartment.
Right.
I said, you're causing trouble again, and no.
Why do you say again?
He's been feuding with the whole condominium for as long as he's lived there, and I've only lived there since September before last, so I guess it's a little over a year and a half.
Where are you guys from?
Pompano Beach.
Pompano Beach. All right. So what do you say happened when he came rushing towards you? He tells you, we can't do it, the fire marshal, you call him a liar and a rectal orifice, and then what?
Yes. He started backing up. I didn't get up. He started backing up, got to the edge of the grass, fell sort of backwards or sideways, started rolling around on the ground yelling, you hit me, you assaulted me, I'm calling 911, and this is ridiculous. Kurt, let me help you up. Stay away from me, I'm gonna have you arrested. And so at that point I walked about 50 feet away and just waited for the police to come.
And the police came?
They did.
Did anybody get arrested?
No.
Okay. May I see both the police report and the fire rescue report?
It's in that report there.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. According to fire rescue, there were no visible injuries. You requested to be transported to Broward Health North, saying you had pain in your legs after falling. And Mr. Arian disputed all the allegations on that day, said you tripped over a curb. And according to you, you said that he had a known history of making other allegations that board members had attacked him.
A few years prior to that, the president of the Land Association Board, which is the mother association, allegedly assaulted him and held a gun to his head. He took it to small claims court, and it was thrown out.
What happened with the prosecutor's office? That would be a 3-year minimum mandatory.
It was thrown out of small claims court, and nothing ever came of it.
It was thrown out because, due to the fact he denied it. He did say he owned a gun, but he never took it out on his possession.
Have you ever spoken to the person who he accused on that other case?
No.
Okay.
This happened before I was there.
All right.
I spoke to people who were there. They said that
Do you have it's fine. Do you have the hospital report?
Yes, I do.
May I have that? Is your sister moral support or is she a witness?
She's moral support.
Okay. What day did this happen?
It happened on February 8th.
When did you go to the hospital?
February 8th.
So they ended up operating on your knee, right?
Correct.
A torn
Meniscus.
Meniscus? Meniscus?
Meniscus.
And so how does that work? Arthroscopic?
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Implants arthroscopic, correct.
Okay. Did you have troubles with your knee before this?
No.
Did you have troubles walking before this?
Yes, I have neuropathy in my hands and my feet.
Well, it definitely seems like you had some kind of injury that day, but the question becomes, how did the injury occur? Is your knee feeling? When was the surgery?
The surgery was April 4th.
And so, how are you doing from the surgery? That was a few months ago.
I'm still having problems with my knee buckling, and I talked to the doctor verbally over the phone. He said if it doesn't stop, he's going to maybe order me braces to hold my legs more sturdier when I walk.
On both legs?
Yes, because I'm having problems on my left side too. But the brace would probably be on.
I do have a question for you. Can you come up to the microphone over here? Because that. Yeah,
Sure.
I'm sorry.
This one.
Sure.
I'll keep it short. I just want to know, before this incident in February, was he having difficulty walking?
He has idiopathic neuropathy, so he has like pins and needles. Right. So he does walk slowly, and that kind of thing.
Right.
But he didn't have problems with knees.
The knee. Right.
And so I went to the doctor with him when the doctor released him from the surgery, and at that time he complained about the left knee, and the doctor said that the left knee was because he was compensating because the right knee still was in the healing process. so compensating on the left side. So that's why he now has problems with the left knee as well.
Do you know what happened here, or nah, you weren't
I
there?
really
You
don't.
know?
I was at work at the time,
All right.
so.
Do you live in that building?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I live in Miami, but I do come
okay.
up once a week.
You are one of the blessed. Okay, go ahead and sit down, darling. Thank you for your help. All right, you know, did you push him?
No.
Did you touch him and he fell? No. Are there any witnesses to any of this?
There's no witnesses, no.
So if it's 50-50, literally 50-50, who loses?
Both.
Well, only one can lose because the plaintiff's suing for money.
The plaintiff loses. He was embarrassed and now he got hurt and he's trying to sue.
Okay, let's say 50-50. You cannot figure out what's what. Who loses?
Yeah, it's 50-50. Like you said, it's eerily similar to what's going on the past couple weeks in the Supreme Court.
Well, the Senate maybe, and I get your point. But anyway, going inside the courtroom.
When you come into court, you have the burden of proof. You do. And it's very hard to come into court and say, you're saying he touched me and pushed me and that's why I fell. And he's saying, no, I didn't. I wasn't anywhere near him. We have problems, and I had just called him a nasty name because he has problems with everybody, and I'm one of the people who has problems with him. It makes it difficult to find in your favor. You know, being from Miami, I am very familiar with condo boards and the condo board culture. And are you retired?
Yes.
Are you retired?
No, I'm on disability.
Okay. There's an awful lot of time on everyone's hands.
Yes.
And there's, you know, that healthy measure of stay out of each other's business doesn't exist in Florida and a lot of our condos and condo boards. No. There is insufficient evidence. There's a lot of evidence that you've been injured. You're great in that. But how it happened is your word against his. And I'm not even taking into account that apparently you have the horrible luck where this has happened to you before with board members that you disagreed with. But I'm not even looking at all that. I'm just looking at the facts of this case that happened in an open area in public, and there are no other witnesses. And even you described that he says, come on, let me help you. You're like, don't touch me. I'm waiting for 911. And it just, it's insufficient for me to be able to say you pushed him and you have to pay for all of his medical bills now because it's all your fault. It's just insufficient for me to be able to say that. So my verdict in this case is for the defendant.
In the police report,
and let me say something. Stay to yourself and don't with the other board members. Well, you're not a board member anymore either. There's a reason you guys aren't board members anymore now. People want peace where they live, okay? So go ahead and exercise the opportunity to stay a little more to yourself and don't gossip at the condo about what happened here, because I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. You got a little bit of a smug smile on your face. I don't know if in your anger you called him a rectal orifice and then went over and touched him and then he slipped. I don't know what happened. But because I don't know what happened, the plaintiff didn't sustain their burden and I can't find against you. Okay? Don't mistake that with a verdict for you. Everybody mind their own business. Okay? Be happy.
So the judge finds for the defendant in this case. The plaintiff, Mr. Kohler, just can't prove what he's charging the defendant with. You understand the judge's verdict?
I understand, 100%.
You know, it seems like you seem to have problems with other board members when you guys get together. Why do you think that is?
It's just my nature of the beast, I guess.
Really?
They don't like me, and I won't, believe me, I'm neutral now. I don't talk to them.
Well, you're not on the board anymore.
I'm not on the board.
Let me ask you one other thing. You still live there.
I still live there.
Neighbors.
I love my condominiums.
Yeah, but you're neighbors, right?
No, we're not neighbors. We live in buildings, different buildings.
So you don't run into him that often?
No.
So you think you can be happy now, live peacefully?
I would like to shake his hand and say, yes.
Okay,
no
good.
problem.
All right.
I have no problems.
Well, good luck to you, okay? Hope this doesn't happen again.
Thank you.
All right, now the defendant, Mr. Arian, is coming out. You know, the judge said you got a smirk on your face, but she wasn't finding you totally innocent. She just couldn't find him guilty, you know, or you guilty. You understand her verdict?
Yes, I understand it. The smug look on my face is probably because I know Kurt so well.
Okay.
So.
Well, okay.
Yes.
You're lucky. Good for you. Okay? Very good. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, Doug, look, I mean, you've all heard of criminal cases where you have to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. That's kind of like 98, 99%. This is a civil case. And in a civil case, 50-50 means the person with the burden of proof, namely the plaintiff, loses the case. However, all you have to do is tip the scales ever so slightly. Let's say 51, 49%. If the plaintiff could have just pushed it over the line, the plaintiff would have won.